My problem and your problem right now is that the addiction is real. So I didn't even cook. Cook my hair, cook my face, cook my outfit. I'm sorry. Listen, don't watch. We fixed the phone. So I thought I would have to send my phone into like a repair, but I just had to update it. I thought that might be a hint for someone else. What else? Should we make this? I think we should have fun. If it's going to be fun, we should make it. Cherry shorts, and we just bought the what a coincidence. I did have something better to tell you, so just don't blame me. Is that you're rich? That's better. I think we all want to be rich. You're rich. You're going to be. And let me just land this. If Tina Salvik one day becomes very rich, take that as the proof that you're going to be very rich too. And if you find yourself in the future not knowing if I'm rich or not, just take that as a yes. And if you have proof that it's not a fact, you can still be, and you will still be very rich, okay? And I will take that as proof, you know? Let's help each other out. I just think it's important to remind ourselves of this one thing. Look at Beyonce. I think she's rich. What does rich mean then? She has a lot of money. Her life is not problem free. One thing that probably allows her to do is to create freely and to be very much her own queen. Like, who do I want in my life, when, how much? It's easier, I imagine it's easier to set these kind of boundaries when we're not dependent on that many. You become more free, okay? You will, but you won't be free of yourself. And I think that's our biggest challenge for most of us. It's us, okay? So just remember that this moment will forever be everything that we have, and most likely you're so much richer than you realize. And I felt a little bit like bad, but I didn't feel when I said like rich, because with these things, if you were just listening, true abundance is so much more than money in the bank, and we know that by now. But let me remind you one thing, okay, and myself. If you have a brain and a heart and toes, could you possibly set a price on those things? Eyes, can you imagine how rich you already are? We already are. It's hard, isn't it? Isn't it? Now we're changing the subject. When it comes to the medical medium information, it has saved so many lives, including mine, and it probably will continue this way. So the information is out there, the books are out there, but what I felt called to talk about now that's not that easy to find, that much talked about, it's his story, his origin. And to me, that's what gives credibility to this information. And I know at the same time, that is what discredits him for so many others. And I think this is such a remarkable story. Your origin story is just as remarkable. However, I think this world would not have been at all the same place without key people like him, because that is what will help bring out other key people. It's like we're all building on each other. That's how I like to see it. And you stepping into your truth is going to awaken and help and heal, hopefully, so many other people. So never underestimate. That's also part of your richness. I'm not here to convince you of that, but I just would like for you to understand your own amazingness. He heard a voice when he was 4, loud and clear as day. As if I'm talking to you right now, you're hearing me loud and clear, I hope. And he couldn't get rid of this voice, and it gave him advanced medical information. And it has continued to this day. So now when he's going for a walk in the forest, he hears information about the flowers, the mushrooms, the berries, the nuts, the trees, and he hears facts and nutritional benefits for different diseases and so on. And when he goes to the supermarket with his parents, he now can hear the medical history of the people that passes by in the aisle, and he can tell them, you need this food, you need to eat this, and you need to juice this, because he could now see. With another ability is that he can do like an X-ray. This sounds science fiction. He can do an X-ray, okay, and he can see heavy metals and things in other people's body. When time passed by, in that area where he lived, he became very popular, and they couldn't go to the supermarket without people coming up and asking him questions. So his edge is that he receives directly from spirit, okay? So long before scientists comes to any conclusion, the conclusion is already a fact, but we haven't seen it, okay? So magic is science undiscovered. And magic is a word he uses a lot because science hasn't caught up to the fact that there's so much magic in the foods that we can eat and buy already. Okay, I'm stressing the fact that he is not a doctor, but he has the respect of some of the best doctors that we have today. For example, in this book, there's the famous doctor Christiane Northrup. She has, how do you say that even? She has written several best-selling books and helped many women, a lot of women worldwide. And she is writing his foreword for this book. He is not a doctor, and he will never be a doctor. Yet people that has been visiting dozens of doctors and never received their answers tend to pay now thousands of dollars just to see him and get a consultation with him, since that he, on the spiritual side of things, has the insight that most of us don't have access to. So for me, that gives him so much credibility for what he says and shares, and for others that may be the reason why there's no real evidence to what you're saying. You're just making this up, and there's no way there's a voice in your head telling you advanced medical information. I'd rather trust a doctor that has gone to medical school, had the education, have the papers, and knows about these medications. Okay, so again, there's two sides of that coin, but that's where I become the crazy one, because any day I would choose these books because I went to the doctor and I felt like I was laughed about, and I'm pretty sure that I had mononucleosis at that time, and this happens a lot, you know, it happens a lot. Anyways, I'm grateful for my story because it has brought me to a lot of insights and deep into myself. And here in this book, there's a foreword by another famous doctor, also an author, written many great books. And he's like, I know there's just a lot of celebrities that has him as his main doctor. Yeah, I feel like I want to stand up for this and him and that cause and protect that information. My mom is one of the people who thinks that all of this is just part of the book series, like it's heavy. All of this is just something he has found online and that he has just copied, and that has been in existence for ages. Like, it's what our grandparents said, it's what our ancestors knew, and like, it's common knowledge. That's what she likes to say. And I'm like, what? This is groundbreaking, you know. So yeah, there's no evidence, medical medium, that you are what you say you are. But I have to tell you that when I read, or even just saw the cover of the book and read the title, I felt this magnetism. And when I read, I don't think it was even the first chapter, it was the first page of Life-Changing Foods. I felt this resonance that I felt like I've been looking for years. And I felt this resonance with the information. It felt like home. I had finally come home to truth. That's how it felt like to me. And I'm so glad I had that experience, but I understand now that that's far from everyone, and I also don't think it's meant to be for everyone. But when we boil it down, what he's saying is extremely simple, and it can be summed up and applied pretty easily. The more complex your situation and symptoms, and the longer you have them, the deeper you're most likely being forced to go, like more detailed. Certain herbs will help you more, and so on. But there's also that he says it himself, even, that when he chooses his supplements, it's like it varies, like how much stress, what am I doing, what am I not doing, and he rotates, like, yeah, now I'm taking this. As long as we stay within the Holy Four, for example, herbs, spices, wild foods, vegetables, and fruits, there's not that much wrong we can do. And it's also important to stay away from the brain destroying foods. I'll touch more on that later because I can, okay? My phone is not broken, and you're rich. And he's a genius in his own way, and you're a genius like no other.